Hello, welcome to Stinger Diecast. Today I have something that I'm actually really excited to show you guys. This is the Ford Race Team Diorama set, or I believe the more official name of it is a premium collector set. I'm sure everybody's pretty familiar with these things by now, but these are a Walmart exclusive set in the United States, and this is the seventh in the series. And each set is, has a very similar character, three cars and a truck. But this particular iteration of the set is very interesting, and to me, it represents by far the best of the sets that have been released so far. The biggest thing is that this set is entirely licensed vehicles. It contains all Fords. They're all based on real vehicles, so they're all licensed, and they all fit together coherently. Because if you're familiar with the previous six iterations of these sets, they haven't always exactly had a consistent theme. Some of them were better than others. Like the Black Hole Gasser set was a reasonably consistent theme, but some of the others were just, they didn't make any sense at all. And they especially were, basically the trucks in the sets have tended to be pretty much throwaways. And while the truck in this set isn't super exciting in itself, it's at least a licensed casting. It's based on a real vehicle, even if the car carrier aspect is still fictional. The cab itself is at least based on a real vehicle. And it fits together with the theme. It's much more coherent, which is something that all the other sets lacked. So I've always been a little bit of, or had a little bit of a mixed opinion about these sets overall, and felt that they were really not worth the money because they cost $25, and you're really paying $25 for the three cars most of the time, because the trucks in the previous sets are effectively throwaways. All of the sets prior to this have included either this Aero lift truck, which this is not from a premium set. I don't actually have any of those. This, what is this called? A carry-on truck, and this is from a previous set, and this is a prime example of a set that just doesn't make any sense. This Jaguar was from that set, and this truck just doesn't fit. It just doesn't make any sense. It was not a coherent theme at all. And then you had the retro rig, which is a very common thing. And this particular set that came with these Trans Am style cars was my previous favorite of the sets that have been put out so far. But the truck was still, to a great extent to me, kind of a throwaway element of it. The cars were all really cool, but the truck itself was just not coherent. So this is very exciting that this is the first set that has had a consistent theme. And the other thing that's really exciting about it is that this is also the first time that they have used one of these sets to introduce a completely new casting. So three of these castings that we've seen before, but one of them is brand new, and we'll get to that when we break this thing open and take a look at them more closely. But before we do that, I also wanted to quickly recap the prior Ford Race Team vehicles that have been released. So there have been several now. So this is becoming a kind of a unique set together. So here we do have this same truck, the C800. This is a Ford drag team truck. This was released in Team Transport. And this comes with this awesome Ford Galaxy drag car. And this is definitely high on my list of favorite Team Transport based cars. So this is definitely one of my favorite sets in the Team Transport series. The other one is this Ford Mustang, Ford Race Team livery with the retro rig truck. Again, it was released in Team Transport. And then the final one was the most recent one, which is also very cool because it's the first time they've released a set that has a separate trailer, and it comes with the very awesome RS200. And the truck itself in this one is a fictional or fantasy casting, but overall this was a pretty cool set, and it fits together perfectly with the theme in the premium collector set. And then the last one in the Ford stable is the first release of the RS200. This came out in Car Culture Thrill Climbers, I believe was the name of the set. And this is a very, very cool casting. So, a little bit of history and some of its compatriots, but what we're really here is to take a look at this thing. So, we'll take a look around the box. This is going to be, if I have enough room, Ford logo, some nice pictures of the cars. Common theme for these at this stage. If you've seen any of these sets, they're all pretty much the same. I don't have enough room to get a good angle on this box. We have the licensing on the bottom. And there is quite a bit of licensing in this set. There are quite a few logos on these vehicles. Even though the vehicles don't, as far as I know, they don't replicate any real world race liveries or anything along those lines. There are still a lot of licensed logos on these vehicles. So all right, so that's enough. I mean, obviously this is like a diorama. There's like a racetrack in the background, and it looks pretty cool. Although these cars are both rally cars, and it looks like that may be maybe that's a rally cross track back there. It looks like it may be dirt, but these would have, run primarily off-road or on public road rally stages. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's get these cars out of here. I've been waiting to do this. I found this over the weekend. And actually, if you're looking for these, I've seen them in stores twice now, and I've actually seen quite a few of them. So they seem to be hitting Walmarts fairly heavily. So I think they'll probably become fairly easy to find. They've been pretty difficult up to this point, but it does seem that they're going to be easier here in the future. Let's see. We got to cut these quickly off of here. I'm just gonna cut them all off. And we don't need that anymore. So, got some rubber band action. See how quickly we can get rid of this stuff. Come on. There we go. All right, so we have our truck, very similar to this one. A little bit more of a purple color than or I guess it's still a blue, but it's kind of a purplish blue, at least under this lighting, which is probably a little bit incorrect for Ford colors. Now we have the Escort RS 1600. The RS 1600 is a casting that's been around for a while. There's been quite a few versions of that put out in both mainline and premium releases. And we'll talk about this one in a second because that's the exciting one. And then we have the Ford Transit van, which this is actually the first one of these I have in my collection. I have never actually picked one of these up before. So I'll take a look at this one first. Nice Ford Race Team livery. We have Pirelli, Autolite, and Bilstein license or logos. Number 71. I believe this is because this is a 71. Is that the correct year on this? It doesn't say. Could be wrong about that. The headlights are pretty cool with the crosses on them. Ford on the grill. No tow hitch or anything on this one, which is a little bit unfortunate because you can't use it to pull this trailer, which that fits better, but they gave you something to pull around with. All right, let's take a closer look at the RS 1600. So this was a very successful rally car in the late 60s and early 70s. Lots of little rubber band bits on here still. But like I said, I don't believe that this replicates any real race livery. I mean, I could be wrong, but I didn't. In the quick search, I didn't find one that seemed to match. So then here you have Ford and Brembo and Momo logos, a Goodyear logo. No Goodyear on the tires or anything though, which is a little bit unfortunate. The 16 I assume is because of the it's an RS 1600. Again, Ford on the hood. Nice painted headlights and turn signals. Pretty much the same on the other side. Escort on the hood or trunk lid. Painted taillights. Overall, very nice. These blue wheels, Hot Wheels real riders are, rarely the most realistic looking wheels, but it's a Hot Wheels. You get what you get with it. So, I love this casting. It's definitely one of my favorites. Like this one. This one's very cool. This was from another Car Culture set. Door Slammers, I believe this set was called. Then you have the Fast and Furious Premium Escort. It's very cool. Love this car. Let's see. Quick look at the truck. Again, you have even more logos on here. You have, what is this? BOM, Autolite, and Goodyear. And is this a Hearst logo? Yeah, Hearst. Oh, B&M. B&M and Hearst. So I should have known that. I mean, as far as these trucks go, this is definitely one of the better ones. Because it is at least based, the cab is at least based on a real vehicle, which makes it more interesting. So it's not quite as much of a throwaway. Still, these sets, I don't know, the trucks are always the weak link in them. But in this one, at least they're coherent. That's all I can say. It's coherent, makes sense, and can't complain too much about that. So now we have the RS 1800. This is a brand new casting. And like I said, this is the first of these sets where they have, as far as I know, this is the first of these sets where they have introduced a new casting. And that's awesome because that really increases the value of these sets and makes it much easier to accept the $25 cost for what is basically 3 cars and a truck that you probably won't care much about. Still pretty expensive, but when you get something new, at least like this is very cool. And the next set that's coming out, they've gone back to having a completely throwaway truck again, which is very disappointing. But it's coming out with a Sauber Mercedes C9, which was a Le Mans race winner in the early 90s, which looks to be a fantastic casting. Has a removable engine cover, and it looks very, very exciting. It's just disappointing that the truck that they included is just it's a terrible choice. But what are you going to do? Anyway, this casting is very cool. Let's look at it a little bit more up close. Ford Race Team, Pirelli, Autolite, Momo, Brembo, UK flag, Ford logo, 18 for the 1800, RS 1800 badge on the back. Painted taillights as always on a Hot Wheels. Ford logo on the trunk there. Key, silver for the key, a little bit of a wing. You have the hash marks on the rally lights and painted headlights. Pirelli logo on the hood. Same on the other side. So this is very cool. This is a very cool casting. Actually, I like this one even better than this one. But both of these together are very cool to have. And overall, I think this is a great set. I have, like I've alluded to, I haven't always been enthused with these sets. I think that they're really kind of overpriced. A lot of them end up really sitting on the set or on the shelf, and some of them sell really well. Like the last set, the Nissan set, which had 3 Nissan GTRs all in white. I have never seen that set. I haven't seen it once on the shelf. I'm not super interested in that set, so that doesn't bother me that much. But I still would, at least it'd be nice to have the opportunity to buy it, but I've never once seen it. I have a feeling this set, there's gonna be a lot of people who wanted it first, but I've got a feeling it's not gonna be very hard to get. It is a very, more specific kind of taste. A lot of people don't seem to really like race cars. Me, I love them. So, there you go. The Ford Race Team Diorama set, or premium collector set. And let's bring in the rest of the family here for a group shot. You shouldn't sit up front. You guys should be up front. Pull you around in the middle here. I don't know. My car arranging skills is not great, and we got to have this guy. He's got to be there. All right. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. I like to hear from people and tell me how good I'm doing or point out all the mistakes that I make. And have a good evening. Thank you.